Hi, welcome into watching. My name is Adam Ottavino. I make videos about baseball, especially pitching. I watch a lot of games, especially when something exciting happens, like tonight. Mr. Gerrit Cole makes his return from Tommy John surgery. There he is, 6'4", 220 pounds, 43.1 WAR already. He was the first overall pick of the 2011 Major League Draft. He's out of California, UCLA. You know all the main details. He's been a Yankee for a long time now. It was very weird to not have him out there because he had been incredibly durable prior to finally having this Tommy John surgery. You see 33 starts there in bold multiple times, 4 times, a couple others over 30 as well. So like 6 or 7 years there, over 30 starts. So you know what you're getting. He got to face the Tampa Bay Rays, the first place Tampa Bay Rays tonight. And this game is still in progress, but this was his final line, a very intriguing 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts on only 72 pitches. Incredibly efficient, 3 hard hit balls. So I watched most of this game, but a little bit of it I missed. So I'm excited to catch up on it all right now. Here is the player breakdown tonight for Gerrit. 35 four-seamers, 13 sinkers, which is interesting. And I want to research when's the last time he threw a lot of sinkers. So 49% four-seam, 18% sinker. That's a lot of fastball. 10% slider, 8% changeup, 6% knuckle curve. So notably, no cutters. Velocity at 96.1 on both the four-seam and the sinker. So that's good. That's actually harder than when we last saw him, what he averaged in his previous, most recent healthy season. How did he do in the whiff department? Not great, which makes sense because he only had the couple strikeouts. 16% whiff, 23% on the four-seam, 17% on the slider. How about first pitch strikes? So this also tells a lot of the tale here. 82% first pitch strikes. That's fantastic. 57% zone rate. So he filled it up and it worked. And he's facing a contact team. So let's check the metrics before we get to the video here. So four-seam fastball average 18 vert, 9 horizontal. So about the same as before with a little more run tonight. Sinker 13 and 15. So a little bit of a dead zone, but 6 more inches of run. So that's significant. That's a significant difference. Slider 2 and 6. That's good. Changeup 9 and 14, but notably the speed on it looks to be down 2.6 miles an hour from when we last saw it. So 85.6 tonight off of 96. So 11 miles an hour. Okay, curveball, negative 15 and 15. So he's always had a big banger. All right, anyway, let's get into it. Let's watch it. Let's see how it looks. Very efficient, very interesting game. And I know it started off weird too. So Chandler Simpson is the first batter. And the first fastball we see from G is 95.9. And yeah, so now that we're watching it, and he's going to give up a hit right here to Chandler Simpson on a fastball away, that he just does Chandler Simpson things and floats it into the outfield. Over Caballero there. I think he missed his location, right? Target looks to be middle in, but I think that's the lane to then get it to the outer rail. I actually think he hit his target there. Chandler with a little slap single. But anyway, now that we see him out there, it got me thinking. You know, I came back from Tommy John once upon a time. As here's a 95.3 mile an hour fastball with 16.8 inches of vert. I mean, it looks the exact same, I would say, his fastball. Just that hovercraft, 96.3. And I remember when I came back, it almost felt like a second debut, like for real. You know, you're out so long. There's a point in it where you really don't feel like a player. And so when you finally cross that threshold and you feel those feelings again, so that really changes things. So there's the first slider. This is a very good slider. It's a good take by Junior Caminero, but I love it. It's at a pretty good height. It's right below. It's a good chase pitch to their best hitter. So yeah, he gave up a hit, but this is a perfectly commanded slider, the first one we see, even though he doesn't get the strike. Here's a pickoff. Got to try to keep Chandler Simpson close. I love that his very first game, he gets literally a top 3 fastest guy in the league on first base in the first inning with no outs. Four-seam here away, and now he's going to fall behind 3-1 to Junior. So, tough predicament, no doubt. Speed demon on first, truly elite hitter in the box. Double pickoff, so now he's vulnerable to the steal for sure. There he goes. Gets a swing and a miss. They call that a foul ball, so they're going to do it again, and then he goes sinker here. First time we get the chance to look at the sinker, and he rushes it a bit too far in. So I was thinking about this part too, now that I've seen that he's throwing these sinkers. This had 16 to the right. Back in the day with Pittsburgh, and I'm going to research this afterwards, he threw a lot of sinkers. Like this was part of his game before. And it's so funny how it all comes around again, don't you think? I had this experience for myself. We came up in a similar era. I'm older than G by several years. But that being said, both came up in the era where sinker was a big part of the game plan. Pitch to contact. He was part of it with Pittsburgh. I was a part of it with St. Louis. And yeah, you learn, you evolve, you get away from it. I mean, this guy's one of the highest strikeout pitchers of all time. But you don't forget that skill, and as you get older, you can actually apply it better because you're wiser and better at pitching. If that makes sense. As there's a really good four seam. He went to Houston and he became this four seam monster. And, he had some of the best seasons of all time in Houston, 300 strikeouts, as that one's dotted up and into a ronda. But at the same time, like, having the two fastballs, everybody's watching. Clearly, he's watching. Guys like Schlittler on his own team, Will Warren. And why not? You have to give the hitters more problems to solve. These hitters are really good. And you got to keep up with kind of the level of the game, and he has no problem doing that because he's Gerrit Cole and he just has automatic feel. So here he tries to go change up 1-2 to a ronda, who's kind of a contact pitcher. If I know G, he scouted out how do I get a ground ball out of a ronda, and he wants to take a shot here. Now, unfortunately, he kind of releases it a bit too early and pushes it up away. And now he has to go back to the fastball. This one's almost 97. Middle down, which in this case works very well. Somehow he gets under that, and it's a very useful, harmless fly out to Cody Bellinger. So this is great as a pitcher. It's contact out, but nobody moves at all, so it's basically a strikeout. All right, next up, Yandy Diaz. This is a big-time opposite field hitter. Inside out swinger. Sinker is the play, and that's where he goes. So this is the 0-0 sinker. The idea here is if he swings, you get him to beat it in the ground, and you kind of beat him in there. So intriguing to see Gerrit trusting that in the first inning of his first game back in, 500 days? All right, so sinker down, and now four seam up, and you see the value. And I bet he just calculated that a little bit in his mind right here as he goes and checks the movement. So you see how he goes to check the movement right at the tail end of that clip? And what was this one? 18.3. So he just saw a pitch with a little bit of downhill action. He saw a pitch that kind of went like downhill. And then this pitch is just sort of like the express uphill. And so he doesn't know which way to direct his barrel. And now he's underneath that. So that's super nasty. 0-2. There's going to be a pickoff attempt here at second, and they're going to get a free out. This was also awesome. Obviously, this is a get out of jail free situation. Chandler Simpson had him timed up. But then they've had a perfectly called inside move. So I don't know if this is Gerrit or if this is they saw something, but this is perfectly timed. And you'll see what I'm talking about. He looks at him with the head, and as soon as he turns, Simpson's already got his shuffle going, and he thinks he's going to time him there. So he must have seen that earlier in the count. I'm going to rewind that in a minute. But the timing is perfect, and he's just too far gone to get him. Let's go back to all the pitches of this at-bat. Yeah, so that's the cadence. Watch. Looking at him, turning and going, strike. So that's the cadence. Simpson sees it once. Let's see it the second time. Turn and go twice. So identical the same time. Head goes and then body follows. Both times the same way. Simpson's picking up on that cue, and that's why this play works so perfectly, because he did the exact same thing, except he then inside moves. Now, if he goes with his head and he's just looking at him and then he inside moves from here, it's never going to work. But the fact that his cadence was the same, turn, head, start, delivery, it was too far gone. Simpson had committed. See, he's gone. Gerrit's like, gotcha. And they get a free out. So not often you see that work. But honestly, that was pretty cool. And then he's going to get his first strikeout of the return with a sinker here to Yandy. Just inside, absolute frozen rope to the inside corner. And what looked like it could have been a long first inning turns into a 15-pitch first inning. And yeah, this pitch had some serious hair on it. And I don't think this is a sinker at all. I think this is a four-seam again. He doubles up on the four-seam because that's 18 vert and 14. So this ball just was like a ride runner. Like a ride runner, true ride runner, and that would have blown him away anyway. So 3-pitch strikeout of Yandy, and we're on to the second inning. All right, first batter is Richie Palacios, who actually went to my high school. 95-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. We saw the first pitch strikes are going to be a thing, so let's keep watching that. That's the second changeup we've seen, and the second one that he's pushed. Just been a little bit underneath this pitch. So 1-1, here comes another changeup. Yes, this makes sense. He wants to fix it in one pitch. He doesn't. He pushes it again. That's triple push. We'll see. Now he's probably going to go away from it, which it looks like he does here with the fastball. Let's see if and when he circles back. Now he pulls the fastball. So three misfires in a row, and then a leadoff walk here with another misfire. So first pitch, he was super grooved, and then the changeups and the doubling up on the pursuit of the changeup correction all kind of backfired, and he had a little bit of a malfunction to the first batter. So leadoff walk in the second. Here comes Johnny DeLuca, and he's going to go with that slider and drop it right in there for strike one. Good first pitch strike. Sinker off that, looking for the double play ball. Ooh, I like that a lot. Perfect pitch, perfect location. Starts middle. Gets in on the hands. Look at that. That's beautiful. There's the label right there. That's where he's going to get, bam, right in the ground. So if you hit that fair, that's a chopper to third double play. But now you also definitely have a gauge that he is on the fastball to be able to pull that. So let's see what he goes to. He goes to the slider. Very good choice. Beats it in the ground. And that's a 6-4-3. No, they take way too long to turn the double play. I missed this inning. Caballero seems to do okay. I don't think it would have mattered. I think the ball was hit too slow. 87-2, but I really like the pitch selection off the sinker in. The slider away was good. He didn't get it perfect location, but that's why he didn't get the whiff, but he got the ground ball. All right, next up, Cedric Mullins. Four-seam coming. First pitch ball up and away. You can really see that ball hovercrafting to the right. Pickoff attempt. Ball two coming here.
Did he go? He did not.
You see that ball ride out of the zone to the arm side. So, yeah, and this one he finished a lot more. And I want to show you what he does with his. I started noticing him doing this, and I think this is an over-exaggerated finish. Check out the finish on Gerrit here at the end. How he, like, leans it forward. Like, he guns it, and then he makes sure he stays down by turning that shoulder that one last time. Because he missed a few times where he released the ball a hair too early. And so that's a super, I mean, it's just, he's just making a in-the-moment adjustment by overcompensating. You see how he kind of like does that with the shoulder? That's just his cue of saying, finish the pitch. And so that's what he does here. He finishes the pitch and it stays in the zone. Let's watch him do it again here. Same thing. Almost came out of that one a little bit. There's a little bit of a recoil, but then he tries to reinforce it. You see? It's so funny. But anyway, gas face, 2-2. And then another fastball. So just all heaters to Mullins. He actually gets on top of that nice, but Judge is there to hook him up and right. 100-mile-an-hour line drive. I just think that was too many fastballs in a row, but you know what? Gets the out. We'll keep it rolling. Nick Fortes, first pitch, 97-1. Now that I know is one of his favorite first pitch right on right locations. He just wants to throw a screaming heater down and away, but if that gives him a little time, if he's a little late with his hand, he gets this perfect happy miss right to this spot. And that's what happens here. He wants to go away, but he knows that he can let it eat here, and if he's a hair late with the hand, that's the miss, and that's a perfect miss. So, I mean, I used to do the same thing, but his fastball is incredible. Always has been, and it certainly is tonight. So he completely underneath that. Now he's 0-1, and everything plays off of that, including the sinker. Oh, is he going to catch this? Oh, he wanted to. They should have let him. They should have let him. They should have let him catch it. I mean, he had beautiful, I got it for him here. Can we break that down? Oh, look at that. I got it. I got the hands out. The hands are out. And Caballero's like, nah, fam, I'm catching that. Anyway, I about the pitch point. So he just made the happy miss on the fastball to here, and then the sinker's going to have more run in. So even if he's trying to pull his hands in, it's a little more protected because it's going to have more run in, and it's the same thing. You see, he gets him off the label again. and it's this harmless infield pop-up, 65.8 miles an hour. So I know he didn't get a lot of strikeouts in this game, but that's like really good pitching right there. You know, it's just great pitching. So that's it. Scoreless second inning, on to the third inning. And this is where it gets interesting towards the backside of this inning. Knuckle curve, strike one. That's the first one we see. Drops it right in. And then he drops a second one in here for a strike. Now, I just wanted to see that from that angle real quick. So 0-2, back-to-back knuckle curves. Now to the changeup. Still hasn't executed one of these yet. Doesn't execute it again up high. So he's just not finishing the changeup. And now he's going to go back to the heater. Kind of throws it down the middle, gets the rollover. So really just filling up the strike zone in that at-bat. All right, next. And that was a theme. So now he gets to the second time through the order. Back to the curveball. So immediately introduces the curveball. Right there at the tail end of the first time through the order, drops in 2 strikes, and then he's like, oh, that feels pretty good. Let's do that to Simpson. Strike 1. Now he can go to the fastball, try to get him to hit a fly ball. That's what I'd be thinking. Did do that, except he somehow still chopped it in the ground because that's his game. But you have to defend him. So interesting. Let's see how the Yankees were playing with nobody on. We've got a double pinch. We've got McMahon. We've got Goldie here. These guys are up the middle. Interesting that I guess you just feel like if it's over here, he's safe anyway. You know what I mean? He's too fast. And over here, you don't think he's going to pull a lot of balls. So that makes sense. I think the alignment makes sense. And then the outfield, you're pulled in pretty shallow way out here. Anyway, I just wanted to see that because he did feel this on the cut of the grass. But yeah, I think he was thinking what I was thinking. Like, slowed him down with the first pitch curveball, go fastball up, get a fly ball out. Or foul ball, and anyway, he gets the out. So 2 outs there, and then he gets, so this is it. First pitch out to Caminero here. It's a little backup slider, but that's kind of beautiful for a first pitch, and Junior doesn't get the head out on it, and so kind of jams him a little bit, oddly. And he ends up flying it out. But again, like when you're throwing first pitch strikes, when you're a starter and like you want to, he knows down a pitch count in this game, and he's facing a team where it's sort of like if you try to strike them all out, you're probably going to waste all your bullets too fast. And now he found this kind of rhythm here in the third inning. That was an efficient inning. Great when you get that 1 pitch out to end it, and then watch how the fourth inning starts. 1 pitch out on a slider, and I like how he changes up his sequence here. This is his first pitch slider. To a lefty of the outing, and he gets Aranda to immediately pop up. Aranda has popped up 2 balls at the bottom of the zone in this game so far of G. It's very strange. But anyway, he's always had a good slider too. So he pops that up, 1 out, 1 pitch, 1 out, and then 1 pitch, 2 outs. Yandy Diaz. So he gets a 3-pitch inning, a hidden 3-pitch inning. The last out of the third and the first 2 outs of the fourth. I don't know what Judge was doing up there. But he's also got great strike throwing command in this game of his knuckle curve. He's just dropping it in there. And I think curveballs are more rare now from what I'm seeing. So that makes them useful. Anyway, Judge does a kind of a funny stare off into the sky. But that's 2 pitches, 2 outs in the fourth. And then he's able to get a 2-pitch out here for a 4-pitch inning. So he's able to get 4 outs on 5 pitches in this stretch. And that completely resets his pitch count. Right? And then he finally executes the changeup down. So 5 misses up on the changeup. You know that was bugging him. But he doesn't give up on it. He knows what adjustment to make. And let's see how much he exaggerates his follow-through on this changeup. If I know him, I'm guessing he really does it a lot. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, kinda, yeah. Oh, man, somebody's in our way. We'll watch from third base. Oh, we got a crotch in our way. Yeah, he finished it. But anyway, this was a great pitch. Again, four outs and 5 pitches, so that completely resets the pitch count, and it kind of reframes like what you're trying to do in this outing. Like, oh, they're going to be aggressive, but right now they're kind of getting out. Like, all right. So we go to the 5th. Another first pitch strike with a 4-seam dotted down and away. Not a strike. Great catch by Wellesley, though, who actually ended up having a good game because he homers in this game, and he needed that, let me tell you what. But it had to be a fun day at the ballpark, catching Gerrit and hitting a home run. And obviously, I'm blissfully unaware of who won this game at this point. Wow. So 4-seam dotted away, and then look at this sinker take off. This one moved 18. This is just an absolute running rocket to the right. It's 10-7, so it's not really a sinker, just flat runner. First of all, that's ridiculous. Second of all, it moves 18 inches to the right at 95. He's just late with the hand here, but this pitch is diabolical. Look at that thing. That was nasty. So now he's 0-2 and can do whatever he wants. Probably slider away. No, he's going back to the heater up. Misses up and away, but that was a pure wrap. That one came out hot. And then slider, try to get it down off the corner. Keeps it down on the corner, but he caps it. Flies it out to belly. So 78-9 off the cap of the bat. This was very well located. Probably would have liked it a hair different, but I mean, you're splitting hairs. It's a good pitch, obviously. And after the sequence that he saw so far, he was bound to be ahead of that. Underrated pitch right now in the game is a dotted down and away four-seamer with 2 strikes. It just is. All right, 1 out now. Cedric Mullins right down the middle fastball. That's the one you want to swing at, but you know, it's not a 20 ball, but there's always been something about it. Like I've played a lot of catch with Gerrit. Just the way the ball just sort of stays on line so well. Look at that thing. It's just like so like pure. It's just pure out of the hand. He's honestly very gifted. I know that's pretty apparent, but he really is. All right, strike there and then change up. And all right, he executed it fine, but Cedric hit it. So I don't know why Cedric would be looking for a changeup, or if that's just where his bat speed is these days. But he does get a hit. He doesn't hit it hard, but base hit to right. I guess he would have rather had that more down and away, but man on base now. Here is Nick Fortes. Beautiful slider. I think his command of his breaking pitches has been incredibly impressive. Pickoff. I will say he's got to work on his pickoff. His pickoff move, I mean, look, I would know. I had the worst pickoff ever. I have the worst. But, I mean, I've watched a lot of guys. He's just a little long with it. You know, he's not going to pick anybody off, and it's really about how fast you are on the pickoff. You want to be 1 flat or better just to limit their lead size, and then I think he'll be fine. But anyway, I digress. Next pitch, 0-1, sinker in, which he's commanded really well also. It's just, he's always had good command, but he's got really good command in this game. He really does, especially the last few innings. Slider away, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's generally a good pitch because, and Jazz does the little switcheroo to get the faster runner off the base. So he eliminates Mullins to keep the catcher on. Gerrit approves. Got a little nod out of Gerrit here. Watch G. Yep, that's good. Caballero says, yep, you're smart. Jazz really did a good job selling this one. Yep. I mean, it's good. It gets him off. All right, so that's 2 outs. And now we have Taylor Walls. 4-seam up. That thing's just carrying through. Knuckle curve, which has been locked in all night. That's the first one he kind of backed up. Ooh, he's going to go behind 3-0 here. He might walk him here, huh? 3 straight late hand misses. 4 straight late hand misses. Looks at the hand. Okay, 2 on, 2 out. Now he's going to go sinker to Simpson. This is a tough matchup because this guy's just trying to slap something. So he goes sinker here, which I don't think he had tried yet to Simpson. And it's a beautiful location, down and away. He just kind of flashes bunt. Now he's going to double up. Where's the location here? Middle again. Slaps it foul. This is a weird one. 98.5 sinker here. And they do get the chopper in the ground. He was really, I feel like he was really trying to control his launch angle there and force the grounder, which is weird because Simpson wants to hit a low line or a grounder, but this pitch was nasty and it really worked. And pretty cool. You watch him running off the field. He definitely checks his pitch count here. He knows he's in good shape. He wants to keep going. See, there's the check. And he goes to the 6th inning. All right, 6th inning. Game's still very close, 1-0. Wells has just homered, and he goes first pitch, sinker in to Caminero. This was also a good reason to end that last inning with Mullins. Now you got Caminero up and nobody on. Worst thing that can happen is the game's tied. So you're fine. So sinker slider 4-seam here. And it beats him. I mean, you can see the value automatically of having the sinker and then backing it up with an elite 4-seam after that. He's just under that. That's a 20 ball. 19.8 inches of vert on this. Check out the way it seems to just stay on plane and ride to the top. And he's just a hair underneath it. This is the Houston fastball.
Cole.
And he also used the Pittsburgh Pirates fastball to start off this at bat. Here's the Pittsburgh Pirates fastball. The riding in sinker. Yep. Riding in sinker followed by the elevator ball. And then four seam. Yeah. And then followed by the elevator ball and gets the fly out. So you can see it really plays. Really, really plays. All right. Next, Aranda. Aranda's popped up 2 balls down in the zone. Four seam up, a little bit of a late hand. If I'm evaluating him right now, I do think he's a little tired. You have to think about it. This is a very emotional game for any player. And even though he's pitched well and been incredibly efficient, it's tiny, but there's tiny little misses happening every now and then the same kind of miss. Just a hair late with the hand. All right, 2-2, changeup coming. Yep, there's another, 3-2. He'll lock it in, though. He's figuring it out. Change up again. Oh, no, sinker now. Definitely has mixed up more sinkers to lefties than I would have thought, but, you know, it's also the Rays, so it makes sense. And then four-seam in, explosive four-seam in, and he liked that strikeout. This is probably, I bet you, if I would bet you dollars to donuts, this is the pitch he's happiest with of the night. Because he really hadn't been pitching lefties in, but this one he just destroys it in. I mean, it's just an absolute rope to the corner. Look at this pitch. Man, it's so pure, it's insane. And then I think he gave a little reaction here, right? Yeah, he liked it. Nice. All right, very nice. So that is 2 outs in the 6th, and now Yandy Diaz, and he's going to wrap up his outing. I mean, he pretty much got everybody out the last few innings. Obviously not a lot of strikeouts, but I think some really clever pitching. There's a four-seam to sinker combo. Change up off of that, right on right. Hadn't tried that yet, but actually love it in this scenario, and he does work, perfectly executed. I mean, this is, so now he's feeling it. It's funny. He's been pitching great the whole game, but now he's really feeling it with this right on right changeup. And Wells gives him the point, like, yes. You see the point by Wells right there? Hold on. Watch Wellesley give him the point. I love it. Yup. That's it. And again, the location is money. And why is it so good? Because it's like he knows that Yandy wants to beat him to the spot on a sinker because he's thrown him a few sinkers in there. So he can sense that he's sped up now. And then the changeup, if he can get it into that area, was where he really wants to get. But obviously he had protection because he throws that in the zone and gets the chopper foul. So 1-2 count, and he's going to finish up his outing with a heater. 97.8. Maybe his fastest pitch. I'm not sure. I think he hit 98. But anyway, beats him, flies it out to right. I think in this moment, walking off the field, he wasn't sure if he was done or not. But he is, in fact, done. But that's a spectacular return to the show. Second debut, if you will. Really is. And every game looks different. And I think this one was a little bit unique, but very special. He had a little magic out there tonight. He definitely executed a lot of stuff. His misses were all the same, just a hair early with the hand at times. Let's watch, because this is 98 miles an hour. You know what? We need to watch one. We need to get a couple clean reps when nobody is in the way. Man, they really changed these coaches boxes. And it messed me up. All right, well, here's a good one from the backside. I mean, the delivery really is the exact same, minus the over-the-head part that he's doing now, which I think is just a great rhythm, great feel thing that he's got going on. He's really gifted, and he has really good timing with this interesting timing thing where he stretches, and as soon as he gets to that equal spot where the glove is pointed forward, like this is perfectly going forward, and this elbow is now scap retracted, like this whole scap is retracted right here, that's when it's on like Donkey Kong. He literally just like hits that, and then he just whams it right through. I also love the way that the glove hand, he pulls it down, but he keeps it forward. He doesn't like lose it down here right now too early to redirect the energy forward. and then he just walks his way right out of it very smoothly. So he's always had a great mechanic, um, but he hasn't lost it. I'll tell you that. We got to get a good first base. We got to get a good third base side. I'm gonna look for one. This is out of the stretch. All right, so here's out of the stretch. I mean, it's so simple. The initial move is right here. Gets the momentum going downhill. Hovercrafts the front foot and then gets to that spot I was talking about, and then from there he just brings the boom and leverages it really well through. I feel like his chest is a very very powerful driver of his throw, but man, it's very elastic. It really is something. So that's it from the stretch. I got to find a windup with this dude not in the way. Okay. You see it a little better here from this spot. Come on, dude. Get out of my camera way, bro. So, I mean, there's the only difference out of the windup. He actually might throw, it's funny. In my chat on my show, somebody was like, why don't more guys throw out of the windup? Throwing out of the stretch is more stressful. And I was like disputing it, but because I don't think it generally is. But in Gerrit's case, he's definitely walking his way into the delivery right here out of the windup and creating a little extra easy free momentum with that swing into it that he's doing, in my opinion. So he is harnessing it a little bit here in an interesting way. And man, the ball really shot out of his hand. So, all right, it's time for takeaways. First stop on the takeaway ladder is TJ Stats stuff breakdown of his game. Gives his fastball a 110 stuff grade. Gives his slider 112 and the sinker 101. Knuckle curve 104. Changeup 99. So all very good stuff grades. Overall 107 according to this website, which I don't even know how it's baked in, but either way, it's interesting to see some of the raw numbers. Four seam average 17.6, 8.7, negative 4.6 VAA, which is flat, but not crazy flat. Sinker, 96.1 as well, 12 and 14.7, 12.6, 14.7. 6.4 extension, it's a little bit below average, but not much, right around league average. The changeup, 1900 RPM, so this is still a traditional changeup. He hasn't messed around with a kick changeup yet. I thought the curveball was outstanding command-wise. Had a 66.7% zone rate on the knuckle curve, 80% on the slider. I mentioned he really did command those pitches well. Threw a ton of strikes in this game, 54% zone rate according to TJ stuff. But when you go back to Baseball Savant, it actually has him as a 57% zone rate. So we'll stick with Baseball Savant for now. But one thing that I thought really drove his success in this game is these first pitch strikes. I mean, my goodness, 18 of 22 first pitch strikes. It's the basics, and that's what he really needed to do today against the Rays. The Rays put the ball in play. They're a very intriguing team in terms of having that speed, and then they also have that power combo with guys like Habanero. Aranda can pop the ball out of there. So there's a lot of interesting dynamics at play when you're talking about the Rays and how they can potentially, make it tough on you. Man, I really want to go back in time and look at his pitch mix because I'm curious when's the last time he was throwing sinkers. I mean, in 2024, he threw 1% sinker, and I don't even know if that's a real thing or not, All right, pitch usage, show more seasons. Let's go way back to when the sinker was a thing. 2013, he was 13% sinker. 2024, 15. 2015, he was 16.4. 2016, he was 19.1. So this might be peak sinker for Gerrit. 2016, Pittsburgh Pirates Gerrit. Then he goes to 13.1, and then it's basically gone by 2018. 6.1, 2.4, 0.2, 0.8, 0.1, 0.1, and now 0.9. But then tonight it was back to the tune of, what did we say? 18% tonight. So he almost brought it back to his peak levels in his first game back. And that's just a guy who's watching the sport. So very, very impressed with that. No cutter, which I think is a good choice for now. The velocity was great. The velocity was really, really, really cool to see. Very impressed with that. Very impressed overall. I mean, this is a very emotional day. It's at Yankee Stadium. There's a lot riding on it in terms of like, just like you want to have a happy day with this. But I couldn't be more happy for my friend. He pitched great tonight. Very cool, very interesting game. Probably a game I'll never forget. Honestly, it's like a second debut, like I've said a few times. So thanks for checking this out with me. Thanks for watching. This all boded well. This all boded well. You know, he looked good. He looks solid. We'll see how he looks moving forward. I don't have any concerns. I don't care about the strikeouts. I don't care about any of that. Put up a bunch of zeros, solved a bunch of problems, faced a tough team, and looked really healthy. You know, really healthy, and that's the most important thing, right? So, congrats. He came back, and thanks for checking me out in this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel. My name is Adam Ottavino once again, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching me. All right, good night. See you later.